Hi everyone! Welcome back to Via Oracle. So I've had a hard time today because of the chemtrails. I'm really hoping RFK gets on banning them. In the meantime, want to check in on the collective energy. I've been having interesting conversations about the occult, and I think it's worth noting that Wendy's is owned by an occult leader, and fast food restaurants like McDonald's don't serve meat, they serve human flesh because McDonald's doesn't even own any beef farms in the US. And they have a ton of Ronald McDonald stations where every hospital is. So make it make sense. And we have, while I'm on a rant, Erica Kirk definitely helped kill her husband, Charlie. I would like to do a podcast episode explaining more about that and why that's the case, but as more evidence comes forward, it's really obvious anyways. And what else shall we be talking about? I know I had something else I was going to bring up today. The occult is the darkest sect of spirituality, and it's also the least effective and least powerful. It's pretty pathetic, honestly. Most people who get into it don't even believe in God or the devil. So we have Knight of Wands, a fire energy. I'm getting that somebody's really inspired, and there's this fire horse energy here too. I'm getting divine feminine inspiration for perhaps like a life path, a creative project. There's the horse in the back if you can't see it. Yeah, possibly a divine feminine message today. Let's see here. Okay, strength reversed. So somebody has been burnt out. Anxiety. I'm getting that with the Knight of Wands here, there needed to be a re-sparking of what lights you up creatively, because somebody was burnt out just hustling all the time without any downtime. Okay, 10 of Swords. Yeah, so you're done with the burnout. Tell me more about 10 of Swords. What is done beside what? Tell me more. Oh, interesting. The Chariot. Okay, yeah, more horse symbolism here. It's a huge ending to me with these two cards. What's ending? Page of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, it's like you're maturing from novelty financial projects into something more like more leadership roles, more money. 3 of Cups. Okay, maybe some business collaborations fell through. Tell me more. The Moon. Okay, this is a message for Divine Feminine today, and I'm gonna say it looks like Divine Feminine, you had a major ending with burnout, and you got whatever you needed to get from that experience. I'm guessing it was really an unpleasant one, but you took the lessons from it and you won't be needing to go back to that state. It feels like a really dark state, honestly. Like, these cards tell me that you were probably completely uninspired for a long time and in fight or flight. Yeah, like a lot of like vagus nerve, totally shot, needed to be brought back to life, resuscitated. And these cards tell me that now you're on a path that is bringing you to yourself, your higher divine feminine self, your intuition. You're honoring your intuition above anything else because you learned that this previous experience where you were on burnout and in fight or flight was because you took a detour from your intuition. And now you know that even if it costs you friendships, even if it costs what was comfortable and what was familiar and kept you playing it safe. You're now moving into a time of embodiment of power, and I'm just getting psychic abilities are coming online with these cards. Okay, let me pull from my animal cards here. Tell me what's the moon in the chariot. What's going on here? Oh, awesome. We have bear again. Yeah, feminine power with the bear. Earth energy, ancestors, soul retrieval, shamanism. I'm getting strong, actually, indigenous blood with this card. Some of you might have ancestors that are of indigenous tribes, of indigenous ancestry, and you're connecting to them at this time to assist you in this next chapter. Okay, pulling from Kali. Tell me about the bear and the moon and all of it. Chinnamasta, yeah. It was like you needed to sever there was a archon illusion spell casting on your mind. And you had to break the spell on your mind, divine feminine. And I feel like as feminines, we often blame ourselves for not seeing something earlier, but we had to go through something. And if we saw it beforehand, we wouldn't have gone through what we needed to go through to initiate us into what we're doing. So this card to me speaks to, you took a detour, you ignored your intuition, you got in some trouble, some oopsies, but it was ultimately serving a higher purpose, feminine. And now you've completely come online and activated your third eye crown chakras. You're no longer ignoring the bullshit. You're completely plugged in and aware. And you can see in these higher dimensional realms the spiritual warfare that's going on. So I think that's why I had to talk about the occult today, because it's important that we stop acting like middle ground passive Buddhism is a good response to the injustice that's going on in this world right now. I'm just going to say it. The Dalai Lama sold himself to Satanists for a few $1 million. I don't know how much exactly, but he has since then promoted things like the jab and promoted complacency He's promoted complacency in light of injustice in this world. And so Buddhism has sold out. So we're no longer adhering to Buddhism as this answer to the energetic imbalances and power dynamics that are playing out in our world right now. And if you're a spiritual light warrior, if you're a divine feminine, you know that justice needs to happen, retributions need to happen, and there needs to be accountability. And that's why we have Anahata Kali, which is all about heart chakra activation here. Because you can't ignore what's in your heart, feminine. You know exactly what's going on now. The veil has lifted and everybody's aware of what's been going on behind closed doors. I'm a little peeved today. If you can't tell, I've just been raging against the machine, raging against micro things going on in my little realm. And I just have so much passion for the fact that the truth is out there. It's out there for everybody. And it's obvious now. And so it's like you got cut off to awaken yourself to what your heart knew all along. So you took a break from the archon spell casting and illusions that were going on in your mind, because your mind was compromised and spell casted and programmed. And a lot of us are breaking out of that. Let me pull from Sacred Mysteries. Tell me more about what was cut off. Peace. Yeah, it was like this false peace going on. And then you activated your intuition. But before, it cut off your peace and intuition. So it was like you were disconnected from yourself, feminine. And that was the archons, the reptilians, the draconian 4D timeline. compassion. So yeah, have compassion on yourself. If you are still interacting with technology, as most of us have to be, you can download Ecosia. You can disable 5G and move to 4G network connections in your settings. You can also disable AI by using Ecosia, and you can put a shungite sticker on your phone, sleep with your phone, having a shungite crystal over it, or a Faraday cage over your phone, because they're bombarding us from every angle. And if most people knew the ways that they were bombarding us, they would have a psychotic breakdown, which happens all the time, which is why psych wards are still a thing, because people wake up, but they don't have the means to ground that information, because it's a lot. It's a lot to wake up to everything that's been happening and all the ways that they've been poisoning us. And I say they as in the reptilians. Let me pull from Sacred Hag. Tell me more about having compassion on ourselves. Okay. Hag of Great Owls. Yeah, because it was in the shadow. And it was like, in order for us to be initiated into seeing this truth, we had to face our shadows first. Okay. And that's also with the moon. There's shadow there. And because I think there was a time when I would have preferred to choose the airy fairy, gaslight worker, love and light, kind of spiritual bypassing the realities of what's going on. And now I just have no tolerance for that anymore. I'm thinking Mountain Messengers keeps coming out because my daughter bent the card, but we'll just go with it. Mountain Messengers and icosahedron. Okay, we have some of our guides coming through for support. Tell me about the owl hag. Hexagon, yeah, it's the bees in the hive. It makes me think of bee virus. It's like everybody got bee virused into waking up to the fact that there's something deeply dysfunctional going on in our society and in the collective. Look up Zach Bush. He does studies. He used to be an endocrinologist, then he went into biology, then he went into studying viruses, and showed how viruses are actually a good thing. I believe personally viruses like HIV, AIDS, and herpes, and COVID, and possibly some other viruses have been manufactured in a lab, intentionally programmed to destroy us. But generally there's tons of viruses that we've evolved past and beyond because our bodies are resilient, and most of the viruses that are pathological are the ones that were man-made. So take it how it resonates, collective, but I'm really pissed. But it's reassuring because nothing is too much for our bodies to process and heal and move through. Like, we're even sweating out microplastics. Hooray! It's a positive message. We have invitation reversed, so closed portals. Luna and the volcano. High tide. Yeah, just like a raging feminine energy. That's why I'm probably raging right now. I've been raging for like 48 hours. I'm just so angry. And so we have here a huge like eruption of clarity and consciousness about what's been going on with our collective. Yeah, it's undeniable at this point. Let me pull from the Shaman Oracle. Tell me more about the invitation reversed. Okay, the Sweat Lodge reversed. Yeah, because it's like some of us may have nanobot technologies or Archon programming or spell casting that we need to cleanse off of ourselves before we can reconnect to these higher dimensional beings. So actually, after getting sick with herpes, I lost connection to my ET guides and I didn't have supernatural encounters for 2 years. And a lot of it was a frequency discrepancy. And then once I healed my body with the help of Yod-Heh-Uah, the true name of the Hebrew God, King of Nazareth, he has healed me. And I'm completely clear of all STDs now. But I'm also having supernatural encounters again. So yeah, these cards are pertaining to being able to cleanse your physical vessel. And that's why I think we have the high tide and the Luna and the volcano, because parasites are more active on new moons and full moons. So if you want to cleanse your body, hit it really hard on new moons and full moons to clear out the parasites, and they have about a month-long cycle. So go just a little bit longer than that with your cleanses and supplements and you'll get rid of them. And then senna leaf is great for worms. But these cards are telling me, feminine, that you want to reconnect to your guides. You're ready to reconnect to the magic that was lost to you. And that's why you're getting this soul retrieval chariot energy. It's on its way to you right now, actually. But it's requiring like a deep heart reconnection, reactivation, remembering your intuition, trusting your intuition. I'm going to pull from soul cards. Tell me more about the Luna and volcano. Okay. We got 3 here. So it looks like we have, yeah, because it's, a lot of us have come online becoming mothers. Honestly, the most powerful women I know in my life are mothers. Here's a happy mama. So flow, joy, love, protection, deep protection of our offspring. What is this card? I've never seen this before. What on earth? Actually, it kind of looks like a woman who's like getting like maybe like a dark energy encounter. I don't know. It's like a really weird card, honestly. But to me, I think these cards pertain to the feminine is having a major reactivation at this time. We have a Pluto sextile Saturn happening March 28th through the 4th or something like that. And then we have a major conjunction with the Saturn, Mars, Mercury happening the 20th of April. And so major things are going to come out regarding injustices on that day. So keep an eye out in the micro and the macro. These cards are all about, feminine, you remembering why it is that you do what you do and having strength. Remembering that being a woman is powerful. And a lot of what's been going on with the repression of the feminine is giving us all amnesia about just how powerful we are. Because when we activate and come online and remember, there's really nothing we can't do. And so I'd like to pull more on that. Tell me more about what's going on with the feminine. I'm going to wrap this up. I have to make it kind of a quicker reading today. Knight of Swords, 7 of Cups. Knight of Swords, 7 of Cups. There's like a snake here. It kind of feels like you were emotionally robbed by a masculine who deceived you out of following your integrity, following your intuition. Tell me more. The Hermit reversed. Yeah, it's like she's falling. There's a sense of going into maybe like a lower vibrational state and taking a break from that deeper spiritual work for a bit. It's like you were on a hiatus. And it caused you a lot of anxiety, feminine. So when you're not aligned with what you're supposed to be doing, it's really obvious to you. You feel it. You feel the discrepancy. 4 of Swords. Yeah, there's a waiting happening. Tell me about anxiety and waiting. What's going on with that? Okay, 8 of Cups. Yeah, it's like you're waiting for, it's in reverse. You're waiting for closure about something. I think a lot of us are waiting for closure about the fact that no one on the Epstein files has been arrested in the US yet. What? Are you kidding me? Maybe some of you are in custody battles. Maybe some of you are having baby daddy issues. Yeah, because it's like there's something going on a grand scale with the Empress reverse and the Five of Cups. It's like the feminine is grieving. There's a lot of water here. There's a lot of like mothers are realizing that it's up to them because the devil's at our front door and it's been a problem, but now it's clearer than ever. Oh gosh, I gotta go soon, you guys. Okay. Let's wrap this up, please. Okay, but now we have divine counsel. Yeah, exactly. So the mountain messenger, divine counsel, the chariot, the moon. Tell me more about divine counsel. Three of Swords reversed. Yeah, it's like we're reconnecting to the parts of us that were lost to toxic relationships, abusive relationships. This is like retrieving ourselves and picking up the pieces from abusive, toxic dynamics. And these cards are our guides here for us with all this love energy. I'm just getting like Lemurian energy with the volcano card. 333, 222, 111. I've been seeing 111 every day this week. So that's new beginnings. Awesome. Okay. I'll pull from Sexual Tarot really quick. Let's see. Tell me about the retrieval process that's happening. Yeah, because there was, with the Six of Cups, it was like someone left you for someone else or someone abandoned you romantically. And now it's time for judgment and retribution and justice, feminine. So really positive message. I'll pull from Kali and then I gotta go. Ooh, Kundalini Shakti. Yes. Okay, snake energy coming through in the benevolent sense. So you are coming online. Feminine root chakra activation. Yes. And look at you with your divine masculine. You're so happy. Okay. Positive message overall. I think that it's just been going through it, but you're on the other side. Love you. Goodbye.